So you like my setup? Is this good content? Rule of thirds? Everything? Lighting? Is this cinematic? Yes? No? You like it? No? Oh well. Welcome. Shade's Clarity Channel. Good to see you back. All my clowns, all my friends, and everybody in between. What I'm going to talk about today is benzodiazepines. Yes. And what are benzodiazepines? Well, they're classified as sedative hypnotics, as alcohol and also barbiturates. They don't really use the barbiturates anymore. The benzodiazepines were designed to replace barbiturates because the barbiturates had too much of a dependence liability and overdose potential. And the first barbiturate was accidentally discovered by Leo Sternbach in 1955. That was chlorodiazepoxide, known as Librium. And 3 years later, diazepam, Valium, was discovered, and it was supposed to be the thing that every housewife would take for her hysteria. Yes. Stones even wrote a song about it, Mother's Little Helper. Yep, they're talking about Valium. They didn't really know of the dangers that anything that modulates GABA receptors, whether it's alcohol, whether it's barbiturates, whether it's some kind of sedative hypnotic, the benzos, the Z drugs, like Ambien, they all work on the GABA complex. What's the GABA complex? Well, that's the receptor. It has a chloride channel down the middle of it. It modulates, potentiates GABA, and the benzodiazepines attach to the GABA A, the binding site's GABA A. Alcohol has a binding site on the complex, as do the barbiturates and the benzodiazepines. So what makes them, and I'm going to talk about tapering too, because I'm on a Valium taper, on about 10 milligrams and coming down, and I'd like to know in the comments about your experiences with tapering. We can do this together. I can give you updates about how I'm doing if you're tapering from benzos or just want to talk about them. Again, I'm not a licensed medical provider, doctor, nurse practitioner, PA, or therapist. This is not to be seen as medical advice. Just see your doctor if you're ready to come off, if you want to come off, and let them guide you. Okay, what happens when you take benzodiazepines for more than 4 to 6 weeks? Well, you're going to build a tolerance. The tolerance is what leads to dependency and withdrawal. And like alcohol, once you go fooling around with those GABA receptors, the withdrawal is not good. And the strange thing is that benzodiazepines bind so tightly to that GABA complex that the withdrawal is about the longest of any scheduled addictive medication. It can take years to come off of it, depending on length of use and dosage. So you don't want to be on super high doses for long periods of time. What happens that leads to really bad withdrawal symptoms is you have a down regulation of your GABA receptors. You have the GABA, but your body gets basically lazy and doesn't produce as many binding sites on the receptors, get down regulated, so you don't have as many receptors, and it takes a long time for the receptors to return to a homeostasis. And the only way to do it, if you're interested in tapering, I have a website for you to go to. Her name is, I would just Google Heather Ashton, Dr. Heather Ashton UK, and what pops up is her manual for tapering. It's called the Ashton Manual. It's a very good resource. You don't have to do it this way. You might want to you can take this manual to your doctor if you're interested in coming off benzodiazepines. Usually what they'll do, if you're on a shorter acting benzo like lorazepam, which is Ativan, or alprazolam, which is Xanax, they will switch you over to diazepam, Valium, because it has a very long half-life, and the smoother the cuts in your taper will be a lot smoother. So the Ashton manual follows that protocol of the Valium substitution and then gradual reduction in dose. And it can be rough. I've heard stories of people tapering, getting off, and they're completely fine. I've heard of people with pause, you know, the protracted, can't even talk, the protracted post-acute withdrawal where they've had burning skin, depersonalization, derealization, self-harm thoughts, aggression, paranoia, just feelings of losing one's mind. That's, in my opinion, a fairly rare situation. It has a lot to do with biochemistry. Most everything does with these medications. They're unpredictable. You never know how one person may have it easy on the taper, the other may have difficulties. But like I said, if you're interested in tapering off, speak with your family practitioner and set up a taper schedule, and you might download the Ashton manual, like I said, print it out, take it in there, because a lot of doctors are unaware of this stuff still. They don't have an understanding of benzodiazepine withdrawal. But that's basically it in a nutshell. I did some earlier videos on benzos and they were trash, so I deleted them. I thought it was time for an update on them, but you know, the down regulation of your receptors is not good. It just takes time for it to come back. It's not like alcohol where it's 5 to 7 days of withdrawal and you're done. It doesn't work that way. But yeah, that's it. I just figured I would let you know a little bit about benzodiazepines if you're interested in tapering. Please check out some of my other videos, like and subscribe. I hate saying this stuff. I'm trying to get my sub count up. You understand, don't you? I'm sure you do. But with that, stay tuned. Come back. See clowns later.